All right. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Right, we back at it again with another Shabbat service. First, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. That's all honor and glory to the Most High God through His Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and of course the Holy Spirit, man. I want to give a hearty shalom to the sincere Akwat and Akim out there that's doing everything they can to make the calling of election sure, man. And I also want to give double honors to the elect elders that's been pushing this word with sincerity and faith for many years, man. Right? So this Sabbath service is entitled Faith, man. Just that, man. Just faith, right? Because a lot of times us brothers, we go out, we teach the word, and we always teach keep the commandments, keep the commandments, keep the commandments, keep the law, keep the law, keep the law, right? But we want it to be we want it to be clear that we are not saying not to have faith. We are not saying that you don't have faith. We're just making it clear when we teach the law that you can't prove that you have faith without keeping the law, man. But you have to have faith. Faith is important, man. They go hand in hand, faith and works, man. So I'm gonna get this precept, man. I'm gonna kick it off with the opening precept, man. It's the book of Romans, right? Classic. Book of Romans, chapter 4. Book of Romans, chapter 4, and I'm going to start at 1. What shall we say then? That Abraham our father, as pertaining to the flesh, hath found. For if Abraham were justified by works, he hath whereof to glory, but not before Yahweh. For what saith the scripture? Abraham believed Yahweh, and is counted to him unto for righteousness. So Abraham believed Yahweh. He believed the Most High. Believing is a form of faith. Right, and that was accounted to him for righteousness, him believing the Most High, right? Now to him that worketh is reward, not to reckon of grace but of debt. But to him that worketh not, but believeth on him that justifieth the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness, man. Your faith is counted for righteousness, right? Now we understand that your works back up your faith, but your faith is what accounts you for righteousness, man, right? Reading on. Even as David also describeth the blessedness of the man unto whom Yahweh imputed righteousness without works, saying, blessed are they whose iniquities are forgiven and whose sins are covered. Blessed is the man to whom the Lord will not impute sin. Cometh the blessedness then upon the circumcision only, or upon the uncircumcision also. For we say that faith was reckoned to Abraham for righteousness. How is it then reckoned? When he was circumcised, when he was circumcision or in uncircumcision? Not in circumcision, but in uncircumcision. So Abraham was reckoned for righteousness and for his faith before he was even circumcised, man. Before he did the act of the law, right? The circumcision is the act of the law, right? But Abraham was counted for righteous before his faith before then, man, right? Reading on. And he received the sign of circumcision, a seal of righteousness of the faith, which he had, yet being uncircumcised, that he might be the father of all them that be not circumcised, their righteousness might be imputed unto them also, man. Right? So what? Abraham literally got the circumcision as a seal of his faith, man. That was a seal of his faith. The circumcision didn't prove his faith. It was a seal of his faith, man. Right? So faith is is how you please the Most High, man. By having faith, because that shows that you believe that he's an all-powerful being and that he'll make good on his word, man. By having that faith, man. Right? Let me get one more. I'll pass it back to the brother. I'll pass it to the brother. Right, it's a lot, man. It's a lot of precepts on the faith, man. The scriptures talk about faith all day long, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Matthew. Book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 14. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed. For oft times he falleth into fire and oft into water, and brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you to bring him hither and bring him hither to me? Right. So Yahushua, they couldn't cast out the demon, and Yahushua is saying, "Oh, faithless and perverse generation," because they didn't really believe they can cast it out, man. They were saying they was gonna cast him out. They tried to cast him out, right? But they didn't actually believe in their spirit, in their heart, and their mind that they can cast him out. And it's the same way with us, man. Right? We have these demons that hop on us, right? We have these demons that we deal with in the flesh and in the spirit, things that we can't see past to believe that we can beat. And because we can't see past actually beating it, the Lord does not defeat it for us, man. We got to pray to the Lord, ask the Lord to remove these things from us, and have faith that he's actually going to remove these things from us. And when he puts us in the position to actually defeat that thing, we got to go to him and not fall to our flesh, right? And try to defeat it through our own mind. Meaning what? If you have an anger demon, right, and you pray to the Lord and ask the Lord to remove the anger from you, right? And he going to put you in a position to be angry, man. And you got to do what? Pray to the Lord in that moment. Rebuke Satan in that moment, man. Right? And then the Lord will make Satan flee from you. But if you give in unto that anger demon, then guess what, man? He might multiply them on you. It may be two of them that help on you the next time, man. Right? Because you didn't actually have faith to go to the Lord in that manner that he will remove that demon from you, man. Right? Reading on. And Yahweh shall rebuke the devil. He rebuked the devil, man. So you got to rebuke that devil in faith, man. Right? And he departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciple to Yahushua apart and said, Why could we not cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Right? So you got to have faith, man. They couldn't get that demon to be cast out because of their unbelief. They didn't truly believe they can do it. And you can't cast out your own demons if you don't truly believe, man. You got to actually believe that the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua are the most powerful words in the world, man. You got to believe that it's the most powerful thing, man. You got to believe that you can cast out demons through the words of the Most High, right? And then it says what? Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. And you're not going to have that kind of faith, man, unless you don't do prayer and fasting, man. That's how you build your faith, right? Through prayer and fasting, man. Prayer and asking the Most High to give you that faith, right? Fasting by what? Making supplication unto the Most High that he'll give you that faith, man. That he'll hear your prayer. That supplication that he'll hear your prayer for faith, man, right? And having faith that he gonna give it to you for asking for it, man, in righteousness. And with that, I'll pass it to the brother.
Come. The brother's bringing out some beautiful precepts, man. Here, I'm gonna add one more to it, right? This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh that give it to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and he shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like the waves of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Right. So when you pray to the Most High, you're asking the Most High for wisdom, for understanding, right, for His commandments, right, for the fear of the Lord, right, for faith, right, for to even remove demons off you, man. You want to pray unto the Lord with nothing wavering, man. You don't want to doubt. You can't have 1 cent of doubt in your head that the Lord is not going to remove this demon from you, man. And brothers, especially during this season, is being attacked by demons left and right, man. They got lust demons out here. They got damn sodomite demons out here, right? You got false prophets, right, rising up more and more nowadays, right? So you gotta have faith in these last days, man. So before I say anything else, let's get the definition of faith, man. Right? Because if you don't know the Bible, it gives you definitions of certain things, man. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm gonna keep it going. The Bible gives you definition to things, man. For real. It kind of breaks things down for you. You don't have to go to any other book to find out, anything, man. Everything is right here, man. Right? So this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right? So you want to have faith, right, of things that is hoped for, the things that are not seen. And what are some things that are hoped for but not seen? A, the kingdom, right? Salvation, right? Yahweh Shai cracking open the sky, man, and destroying this wicked kingdom, man. Hey, and ultimately, the highest thing that is not seen, but we got to have faith in is the Lord, man. Yahweh, right? That's our whole duty here was to serve man, man. I'm sorry, Salah. Our whole duty here is to serve the Lord, man. That's Ecclesiastes, the dang 12th chapter and the 13 and 14th verse, man. Right? So our whole duty here is to serve the Lord, man, for all glory, honor, and respect. Matter of fact, let me get another precept to back that up. This is Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12, man. Deuteronomy chapter 10 and 12, he says, and now, Israel, what do the Lord require of thee? So the Lord kind of requires this of you, man. He's not asking you, well, maybe you can do this. He's not asking you for your opinion. It's a requirement, man. Right? It says, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, and to serve him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. So you got to serve the Lord with all thy heart and all your soul, man. And that's how you get the Lord to hear you, man. Right? The Lord doesn't just deal with anybody, man. The Lord's going to deal with the people who honestly want to serve him in honesty and integrity, man. Integrity of heart. Right? Let's go back to the book of Hebrews and get Hebrews 11 and 6. And it reads, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Right? So you have to believe in this thing, man. You can't just say, oh yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I don't know the commandments. Today's the Sabbath day. You gotta stay 10 toes down in this thing, man. Somebody asks you who you say, hey, I'm an Israelite, man, from the tribe of Judah, man. And if you got a problem with it, say something. You know what I'm saying? You got to be bold in this thing, bold like a lion, man. Right? Rightfully stand up for the words of the Lord, man. So let me get this one more precept right quick, right? Going into how do you get faith, right? Because you're not going to just wake up today and here you go, you got 10 times the amount of faith. You're the most faithful brother you ever seen in your life. You're more faithful than Yahweh Shai. You're more faithful than Solomon. You're more faithful than David. Hey, there's brothers out here who believe they're more faithful than Abraham, man. And he offered up his son. Right? So you're not going to get faith out of nowhere. Faith is not going to just fall out of the sky like a dove, come and dwell upon you, and the next thing you know, you out there prophesying, man. That's not going to happen, man. Let me get this in the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 17. And it says, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. Right? So you kind of got to be in this thing. You got to hear the words of the Lord, hear his promises, hear his covenants, hear his laws, statutes, and commandments, hear the things he charged us to do, because that's how you accumulate faith, especially in these last days, man. In the days filled with nothing but desolation and darkness, man. Right? Let me get this last one. Right? It's damn, what was that? Precept. Salakia. I'm gonna get a different precept, right? Let's go to Romans again. Romans 2. Oh no. Romans 10. Romans 10 and 1, right? Because everybody needs to have faith in these last days. All the apostles had faith, all the prophets had faith, all the mighty men of the Lord had faith, man. This is one of the things, right, that Paul hoped for, man. Right? It says, this is Romans 10 and 1. It says, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Yahweh for Israel that they may be saved, man. So you got to also pray for your brethren, have faith in your nation that the Lord's going to deliver them and bring us into the promised land, man. Right? With that, I'm gonna yield and pass it back to the brother, man.
All praise to the Most High. The brother brought out some mighty precepts, man. Right, mighty precepts. I'm gonna get a couple of precepts. I want to get a couple of accounts, man, of our ancestors, man, and some of the faith they had, man, and how that faith preserved them, man, and preserved our people, man. Right? Because what it says, let me get this precept first before I get that. Let me get this one first. Book of Romans, right? Show you why you got to go into these things, man. Right? Book of Romans, chapter 15, right? In verse 4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, which hope is another word for faith, man, right? So the things that are written aforetime, man, right, are for our learning, for comfort, man, that we might have hope. So all the things, all these precepts brothers gonna bring out, with our ancestors and how they had faith and how faith delivered them, man, right? That is for your comfort, man, to understand that having faith in the Lord is going to get you delivered in these last days, man, right? So let's get it, man. Let's go to the mighty book of Esther, man. Mighty, mighty book of Esther. Right? Book of Esther, chapter 4. Right? I'm going to start at verse 11, right? 4 and verse 11. And all the king's servant and the people of the king provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the gold scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come into the king these 30 days, right? So what? Mordecai is telling Esther to go and make intercession for Israel to the king. But the king had made a decree that if he's in his chamber, if he didn't call you to the chamber, unless he holds out that golden scepter, he going to put you to death, man. Right? Reading on. And they told Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their entanglement and the deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Then Esther bade them to return to Mordecai this answer. Go rather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go into the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish, man. Right? So she's saying, if I perish, I'm a fast. I'm gonna have faith that Yahweh Shai is gonna preserve me, man. If I perish, I perish, man. Right? So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day, Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house, and the king sat upon his royal throne, and the royal house over against the gate of the house. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be given thee even to half of the kingdom, man. Right? So Esther had faith in Yahweh that she prayed, she fasted, she made supplication unto the Lord. The same thing that is said in the book of Matthew, man. Right? She prayed, she fasted, she made supplication unto the Lord. She had faith and believing what? That the Lord would turn the king's heart, man. And he did. He turned the king's heart for him to say literally to Esther, hey, anything all the way to half of the kingdom, ask it, you can have it. Right. So there was no thing when she asked her to have that dinner where then she made that petition for her people. Man. Right. Let's get another account. Right. It's the mighty book of First Maccabees, man. The book of First Maccabees. And I'm going to start at verse 5. In the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas. When they found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for he said, these fellows flee from us. But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain, 3,000 men. So nevertheless, had neither armor nor swords in their minds. Hey, man, they were so faithful, right? They had so much faith. They didn't have no armor nor swords to go to battle, man. In their mind, they already knew Yahweh Shai was going to be their sword, man, right? And says what? And they armor, right? And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with the horsemen. and they were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant with our fathers, and destroy this host from before our face this day. So he said, cry unto heaven, man, right? Which means cry unto heaven and have faith that the Most High God will what? Destroy our enemies the same way he did in the time with our fathers, man, right? He didn't say, hey, let's kind of turn around, man. That's a mighty host over there, man. I know the Lord said he got our back, but I'm going to turn around. We're not going to fight. No, he said, hey, cry unto heaven and we're going to march forward, man, right? Reading on. That so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth in Israel. Then the strangers lifted up their eyes and saw them coming over against them. Wherefore they went out of the camp to battle. But they that were with Judas sounded their trumpets. So they joined battle, and the heathen, being discomfited, fled into the plain. Howbeit all the hindmost of them were slain with the sword, for they pursued them to Gaza unto the plains of Idumea, and to Azotus and Gemenia, so that there were slain about 3,000 men. Right? So straight like that, man. He had faith to call upon the Lord, that the Lord was going to deliver him from the heathen, man. And the Lord, what? He sent the heathen to flight, man. Sent them to flight. Straight like that, man. Right? Due to their faith. This whole book of Maccabees, all the wars that goes on in Maccabees, is all about faith and keeping the law, man. It's one of the mightiest books on faith that you're going to find, man. No matter how many damn soldiers the king had, no matter how many damn soldiers the other nations had, man, no matter how many, all Judas Maccabees and his brothers did was call on the Lord and have faith that they'll be delivered, man. Right? And we're going to get a couple more accounts, but I'm going to come back to that, man. Let me get one more, and I'm going to pass it to the brother, man. Go to the book of Daniel, man. The mighty book of Daniel. Right? Mighty book of Daniel, man, chapter 3. Right? It's the book of Daniel, chapter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. Whoso falleth not down and worshipeth that, he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs in the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the gold image that I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I made well. But if you worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that? Who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hand? So even ask him, what God is going to deliver you out of my hand, man? Right? He says, what? Because Nebuchadnezzar was like a god on the earth, man. Right? So he's like, what God going to deliver you out of my hand? Reading on. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. They say, hey, we ain't even careful. We ain't kind of trying to step on our words a little bit, trying to cut corners. We ain't careful. We going to answer you the way we supposed to answer you, man. We got no respect to persons, man. Right? Says, we are not careful to answer you of thee in this matter. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, Did we not cast the men bound in the midst of the fire? They answered, said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the son of Yahweh, man. So what, man? And they had faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai was going to save them from that fiery furnace, to save them out the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, man. So they ain't bow down to that God, that idol that Nebuchadnezzar set up, man. Right? They didn't bow down. They said, guess what, man? Even if the Lord decides he don't want to save us, that's of his will, man. We still got faith that he going to raise us up, man. So they ain't bow down. And now Nebuchadnezzar seeing the power of the Most High. The Lord done sent Yahweh Shai down there to be in the damn fiery furnace with them, man. To protect them, man. They down there, they was bound. They kind of down there walking around in the damn fiery furnace, kind of just chilling, man. Not even feeling the heat, man. Right? That's what faith can do to you, man. That's what power faith can give unto you, man. When you in a damn fiery damn furnace, the Lord kind of turn off the damn heat on your body, man. Kind of keep your body cool the whole time. You know, your skin ain't even feeling the flames. The flames ain't even touching you, right? Then he kind of send Yahweh Shai down there to be your damn guard, man. Right? We don't. And Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Power, come forth and come hither. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth in the midst of the fire, right? Straight like that, man. And I'm going to jump to 28. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel and delivered his servants and trusted him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies that they might not serve or worship any God except their own God, man. Straight like that, man. Through their faith, man. Through their faith, man, they kind of shut Nebuchadnezzar up, man. Right? Kind of made him say, man, hey, blessed be the Lord God of your God, man, because that's a real God right there. We kind of threw you in the fire. You was kind of tied up. You know, the Lord came and sent Yahweh Shai, who loosed up your bounds and then protected you from the fire, man. Right? Let me get one more. Since I'm in Daniel, let me just get this real quick. Make it quick. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 6, and verse, I'm going to jump around. Right? Verse 4, then the princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could not find none occasion, nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his power. So they knew the only way to find an occasion of Daniel is to what? Find an occasion with something that he does in his law, right? So I'm going to jump down. So they said they had the king set a decree saying that no man should be able to pray to any other God for a certain amount of time, right? But Daniel, they knew Daniel was going to pray to his God every single day, man, 3 times a day, right? Because that's our heritage, man. Now we pray without ceasing, but you got to pray a minimum of 3 times a day, right? Evening, morning, and noon, man, right? Pursuant to the book of Psalms, right? The book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 10. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, so Daniel knew the writing was signed, right? That if you did any prayer or you knelt down to any God in the midst of this time, you'd be thrown in the lion's den. So he knew it, right? He went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks to his power he did aforetime. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and make supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning this decree. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any God or man within 30 days, save save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the dens of the lion. The king answered and said, the thing is true according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not. Right? Let me jump down to verse 16. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of the lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. So even King Darius had faith to know that when we cast Daniel down here, his God who he worships continually will deliver him. The heathen knew it, man. The heathen had faith for Daniel, man, because he loved Daniel, because Daniel was a righteous man, an upright man, man, right? A man that served his Lord, right? Reading on. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with his signet of his lords, and the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went into his place and passed the night fasting, neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the dens of the lion. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, I live forever. My God has sent his angel and has shut the lion's mouth, that they have not hurt me, for as much before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, I have done no hurt, man. So what? The Lord preserved Daniel from the damn lions den, man. Right? Through his faith, man. Through his faith. And how did Daniel prove his faith? Through his works, man. He continued to pray 3 times a day, which is a law and a statute in Israel, man. So he proved his faith through his works, man. Perfecting it, man. Right? With that, I pass it back to the brother, man. Salakia.
Khan, and Daniel did a lot of real mighty things, man. It's crazy how that brother brought out that precept, man. That's one of my favorite precepts, man, about the 3 holy children, man. They say, hey, we are not careful to answer thee. Man, hey, we don't give a damn. I'm going to tell you what it is, man. Hey, that's what I'm going to do, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, these last days, man. You got Esau kicking out their door. Doo, 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 doo. Hey, come get the bee sting. We got the bee sting for you. Hey, I'm going to say, hey, look, I'm not careful to answer you. You know, you better, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, I'm going to tell them what it is, man. Right? But, you know, let me get this precept right here, going into another thing that Daniel did, right? This is the book of the history of Bel the Dragon, right? And I'm gonna kind of, you know, jump around in here, so you know, bear with me, right? It says, I'm gonna start off from okay, Khan. So I'm gonna start off right here, man. I'm gonna kind of get straight to the point, you know what I'm saying, right? So Daniel, he actually faced a dragon, man. A real live dragon. He faced it and he killed it without any type of weapon, man, because he knew that the Lord, you know what I'm saying, was with him, man, right? Let me get this right here, right? This is the book, the history of the bellow of the dragon, right? There is no chapter, so I'm gonna just say verse. Okay, Khan. This is Bel the Dragon. Man, I really want to go up there because, you know, but I'm going to start at verse 25. Then said Daniel unto the king, I will worship the Lord my God, for he is the living God. But he gave me leave, O king. But give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without sword or staff. And the king said, I give thee leave, right? And so he kind of went go slay a dragon, you know what I'm saying, without a sword or a staff, man. And how did he do it? He used wisdom. Right, he used wisdom and understanding, man. And you got to think about how he got this thing, man. Wisdom and understanding didn't just get to him, man. Let me show you how he got this wisdom and understanding. Right, this is Deuteronomy. Right, let me jump to the book of Deuteronomy. Right, chapter 4 and verse 6. It says, keep there. Verse 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all the statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So he got his wisdom from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And the Lord kind of gave him that increase, gave him more wisdom, more wisdom. Hey, they said that Daniel was the wise, one of the wiser than any of the Babylonian damn astrologers and magicians, man. He had a whole bunch of wisdom and understanding that they couldn't even fathom, man. Right? And he said, okay, and then I'm gonna get back to his book. It says, verse 27. Then Daniel took pitch and fat, and pitch is tar, right? He took fat and hair and did set them together and made lumps thereof. This he put in the dragon's mouth, and so the dragon burst into sunder. And Daniel said, lo, these are the gods ye worship. You know what I'm saying? Kind of showing him, hey, that your gods are able to be destroyed, man. The Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you can't destroy him, man. Who can go up there with war with the Lord, man? Nobody. Not a dang person can stand up against the Lord, man. Let me get this in the book of the history of Susanna, right? Because even the women had faith in that day, in the ancient days, man, right? So this is the history of Susanna, right? And this is chapter 1, right? And I'm gonna start out with verse 36. Right? And, Con. And it reads, and verse 35, Salaki, and it says, and she weeping look up towards heaven, for her heart trusted in the Lord. Right? So this woman named Susanna, she trusted in the Lord, man. And for those who kind of want the background of what's going on, these two wicked men, they're trying to lay down with this woman. They kind of hid in the garden, waiting for her to come in just so they can try to lay down with her. And they say, if you don't do it, hey, we're going to commit you a sin. And these are two elders in Israel, man. They say, hey, if you don't lay down with us, we're going to put you to death. And she said, what? Right? I'm going to jump up to show you what she said first. Verse 23, she said, it is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord, man. So this woman was willing to be put to death, right? But let's see what the Lord did for her, right? I'm going to jump down to 36. He says, and the elder said, as we walk in the garden alone, the woman came in with two maids and shut the garden doors and sent the maids away. Then a young man who there was hid came unto her and laid with her. Then we that stood in the corner of the garden, seeing the wickedness, ran unto her. And when we saw them together, the men we could not hold, for he was stronger than we, and opened the door and leapt out. But having taken this woman, we asked who the young man was, but she would not tell us. These things do we testify. So they out here making up lies now, try to put this woman to death, man. Then the assembly believed them as those that were the elders and judges of the people, so they condemned her to death. Right. So now they're trying to put her to death, man. Everybody believed her, man. Are you willing to go through that? Are you able to go through that? Are you going through that now? We're kind of going out there shaking the hand, telling everybody that the Lord's going to destroy this place, and nobody's believing us, man. Everybody's against us. Like, look at these dudes. Dang, black Hebrew Israelites. Ooh, I hate them. They're not even Christians. Yahweh said himself, man, I have not come to bring peace but a sword, man. So what are you talking about? Right? But let's get back to the story, man. And it says 42, and Susanna cried out with a loud voice and said, O everlasting Yahweh, that knowest the secrets and knoweth all things before they be, thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die. Whereas I never did such thing as these men have maliciously invented against me. Then the Lord heard her voice. Therefore, when she was laid to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel, right? Who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman. So the Lord kind of used Daniel to kind of speak up to save this woman from her from being put to death, man. And when you finish the rest of this account, hey, those two men got put to death, man. Caught up in their lives by Daniel, man. The Lord kind of, stuck them up there, man. Right? Let me get this in the book of Psalms real quick. Book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 1. Right? Psalms 19 and 1. right? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19:1. The heaven declares the glory of Yahweh, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no language where their voice is not heard, man. Right? So you got to think about this, right? The heavens, the sun, the moon, the stars, they show up knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and they tell you things every day. The sun tell you when it's the hottest part of the day, when it's time for the sun to rise, from when the day is over with, man. And you got to think about what created this thing was the sun, man. The sun was created by the Lord, man. The Lord created the sun. So the Lord should be, Salaki. So the sun should be a symbol of his glory, man, of his might, of his omnipotence, of his strength, man. Well, let's see what our forefathers were able to do through the power of the Lord, man. Right? This is Joshua, right? Chapter 10. Salaki, give me a second. Joshua chapter 10 and verse 11. And it came to pass as they fled before Israel, right? Because Israel, we're going to war, I think, against the I want to say here, let me get it, man. The Amorites. We're going to war against the Amorites. This is when we first got the promised land, right? And Joshua, he's over there fighting them, man. But let's see what happens, right? And it came to pass as they fled before Israel and were in the going down of Bethhoron, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them unto Azekah, and they died. They were more which died with hailstone than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. Right? So we got a great multitude of people coming against the men of the Lord. And we put them all to death, man. And not only that, the Lord actually helped us, man. They kind of fled away from us, and the Lord had them do that just so he can rain brimstone on the top of their heads, man, and put them to death. Right? But that's not it. That's not all thing that happened that day. Right? Let's continue reading. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, be thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Right? So the man Joshua, through his faith in the Lord, was able to command the sun to stay still, man. And that's a mighty thing. The sun is a mighty work of the Lord, man. The sun goes around the earth each and every day and meet up at the same spot in a matter of 24 hours, man. Man can't even go damn near down the street. Go to the next city in 24 hours, man. But that's the sun. The sun is able to do that. How? Through the power of the Lord. And Joshua was able to command it through the faith he had in the Lord, man. Right? But let me finish this verse and I'm going to pass it back to the brother. Salaki, I got one more. Salah. It says, is it not this written in the book of Jasher, so that the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and haste not to go down about the whole day? And there was no day like that before it or afterward, that the Lord hearkened unto the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. Right? So the Lord kind of hearkened onto his voice, man. I'm going to give one more account. I'm going to pass it back to the brother. This is the book of Judges, chapter 15 and verse 15, man, about our mighty forefather Samson, who had bands on his arms, broke them off, and came and slew a damn 1,000 Philistines with a jawbone, right, of an ass, right? Let's read it. And it says, and he found this is Judges 15 and 15, right? And he found a new jawbone of an ass and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heap upon heaps, with the jawbone of an ass have I slain 1,000 Philistines. Right? And that's plain, man. And I'm going to pass it back to the brother like that.
Con King, mighty precept. That Joshua, man, that's the mean one, man. That Joshua is a mean precept, like for real. You know, let me get one of the mean ones in there. Let me get a mean one in there real quick too, man. Let's go to the mighty book of First Kings, man. Second Kings, Salakia. The mighty book of Second Kings, man. Right, it's the book of Second Kings, chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 9. And when they answered him, he was an hairy man and with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, It is Elijah the Tishbite. When the king said unto him, a captain of 50 with 50, he went up on him, and behold, he sat on the top of an hill, and he spake unto him, Thou man of Yahweh, the king had said, Come down. And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, If I be a man of Yahweh, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50, man. Hey, man, our forefather literally called fire down from heaven, man, from his faith, man. Literally, he believed when I called this fire down, it's going to happen. And the Lord made it happen, man. Straight like that, man. That's what faith can do, man. Right? Literally, we talk about superpowers, man. We got superpowers, man, through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And we got to use our faith, man. Right? We got to look at these scriptures, man, like I brought out in the book of Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, and let them be our comfort, man, to understand, man, that we have this power, and we got to obtain that power through faith. And you prove faith through your works, man. Right? Reading on. Right? And again, also, he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50. And he answered and said unto him, O man of Yahweh, thus saith the king, said, Come down quickly. And Elijah answered and said unto them, If I be a man of Yahweh, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And the fire of Yahweh came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50, man. 2 times in a row, man. Hey, that show you it wasn't a fluke. 2 times in a row, Elijah literally called down fire from heaven, man. And the fire came down and literally consumed the men and they 50, man. Straight like that from faith, man. There ain't no way around it. You can't kind of try to wiggle your way around it, kind of say, nah, it didn't happen. The first one was a fluke. Maybe it was this. No, he called twice in a row, man, for good measure, man. So you can't say it was a fluke, man. Right? Let's get another account, man.
Hey, it's a lock, and I'm led to believe that it landed in the exact same spot, man.
It probably landed, I'm led to believe that too. It probably landed in the exact same spot, man. Straight like that, man. Right? Let's get another account, man. Let's go back to the mighty book of the Maccabees, man. Right? The mighty book of the Maccabees. Right? Where am I? Con. Right? It's the book of Maccabees. First Maccabees chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 30. So that the number of his army was 100,000 footmen and 20,000 horsemen and 32 elephants exercising battle. Right? So what, man? They had footmen, they had damn elephants exercising battle, right? They had all kind of things going on, man. Right? Then what? Salaki, I'm trying to figure out jump down to. Salakia. I mean, he gonna defeat him, but I was looking for when they called on to the Lord, man. I thought they called on the Lord again on this one.
Where you at, Maccabees?
Yeah. Maccabees 6, but I was looking for a specific thing.
The first Maccabees, right?
Yeah. Salakia. I'm gonna just read this, and I'm gonna find the other one where they went into it. Right. These went through Idumea and pinched against Bethsura, which they assaulted many days, making engines of war. But they of Bethsura came out and burned them with fire and fought valiantly. Upon this, Judas removed from the tower and pitched at Bethsura and against the king's camp. Then the king, rising very early, marched fiercely and hosted through Bethsarachus with his armies and ready to battle and sounded trumpets. And to the end that he might provoke the elephants to fight, they showed them the blood of grapes and mulberries. So they trying to do everything they can to make everything. And they had engines of war. They did everything they could, man. So they used mulberries to kind of provoke the elephants to fight, man. Right? And it says what? Now I can jump down. Verse 42, then Judas and his host drew near and entered into battle, and there were slain of the king's army 600 men. Eleazar also surnamed Savarin, receiving that one of the beasts armed with the royal harness was higher than the rest of them, proposing that the king was upon him, put himself in jeopardy to the end of he might deliver his people and get him a perpetual name. Wherefore he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying on the right and on the left, so that there was divided from him on both sides. Which done, he crept under the elephant and thrust him under and slew him, where he upon the elephant fell down upon him, and he died. Howbeit the rest of the Jews, seeing the strength of the king and the violence of his forces, turned away from them. The king and his army went to Jerusalem to meet them, and the king pitched the tents against Judea, against Mount Zion. But with them were Bethsura. He made peace, for he came of the city, because they had no victuals there to endure the siege. It was being a year of rest in the land. Right? So, man, this is not what I was looking for. Salakia, man. Yeah, this ain't the one. This ain't what I was looking for. All right, I'm gonna come back to that. All right, I'm gonna go to the book of Judges. All right, the brother pulled out a mighty precept in the book of Judges. It's another one. It's a couple of them in Judges, man. All right, it's the book of Judges, chapter 7, right? And verse 6, right? And the number of them that lapping up their hand with their mouth were 300 men, but the rest of the people bowed down with their knees to drink water. So the Lord is literally about to take 300 men with Gideon to battle, man. Right? 300 men, right? Not 1,000, not 6,000, not 7,000. Gideon didn't say, Lord, that's 300. You know, I don't know about no 300, man. We about to go fight 10,000 men. Like, I need a couple. Can I get a thief? No, Gideon was like, hey, you the Lord. Let's ride. 300, let's ride, right? And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the people go every man unto his place. So the people took victuals in their hand and their trumpets, and he sent all the rest of Israel every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men and the host of Midian beneath him in the valley, right? So it's verse 10. I'm going to verse 10. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with furor to the servant down to the host, and thou shalt hear that what they say, and afterward shall thine hands be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then when he down with furor, his servant unto the outside of the armed men and their hosts. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay long in the valley of grasshoppers for the multitude, and their camels were without number, and as the sand by the seaside for multitude. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told him a dream unto his fellow, and said, behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, cake and barley, and tumbled into the host, and the Midian came unto a tent and smote it, and it fell and overturned, that the tent lay long. And his fellow answered and said, this is nothing else save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, the man of Israel, for into his hand had Yahweh delivered Midian and all his hosts. So with all his people, man, right, the Lord literally took 300 men and Gideon and the faithful Gideon, man, and delivered the Midianites and the Amalekites into his hand, man. A mass murder, man, with 300 people, because Gideon had faith in the Lord, and the 300 men that went out to fight as well, man. That's the power that our forefathers and our ancestors had through their faith, man. And we got to obtain that same type of faith to defeat these demons, right? To defeat our flesh, man, and to defeat everything that's coming in these last days, man, right? Let me get one more and pass it back to the brother, man. Let's get the book, right? Let's get the book of Acts, man. All right, it's a lot of mighty things in the book of Acts, man, really. All right, but I just want to get a quote from Paul real quick, man. It's the book of Acts, chapter 21, and verse 11. And when he was come unto us, he took Paul's girdle and bound his own hands and feet, and said, thus said the Holy Ghost, so shall the Jews in Jerusalem bind that man that owneth his girdle, and shall deliver him into the hands of the Gentiles. And when he heard these things, both we And they of that place besought him not to go to Jerusalem. Then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break mine heart? For I am ready I am ready not to be bound only, but also to die at Jerusalem for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. Right? That's straight faith, man. And what is he hoping for in that faith, that if he die in Jerusalem? Let me get this real quick. Right, real quick. Right? What is he hoping for in that faith? Right? Our fathers understood this, man. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction. But they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet their hope is full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself. Right? Straight like that, man. So their hope is full of immortality, man. Paul's hope was full of immortality. Right? So he was ready to die. He was ready to get beaten and chastised for the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because his faith that he had in him his faith of what was to come had him so strong that he didn't mind the things that was going to come through the hands of man. Right? And with that, I pass it back to the brother.
Con, you know what I'm saying? So notice something, man. For each and everything we brought up, there's been a problem and a solution, right? There's been a problem. You know, these men are going through affliction, right? The nation of Israel is in danger, right? We're about to be put to death. And the solution has always been the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. Right? So, you know, if we had these things happen in the ancient times, hey, they're going to happen again, man. Right? Let me get this in the book of Ecclesiastes real quick. Right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes. It's a lot. Give me a second. My pages stick together. Con 1 and 9. And it reads, the things that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So just like all these trials and tribulations or affliction that you've seen our forefathers going through, hey, they're going to happen again, but they're going to happen to us, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're at war, man. Right? We've been at war, man. This place is Babylon is not a place you want to be at. It's a place full of war, man. You got to think about it, man. All our ancestors' blood are under our feet. All the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Hey, in the state of Florida, there was over 10 million people over there, man. And they killed them. All of the Samoan Indians, man. All the tribes of Reuben. They either relocated them or they slaved them, man. So the whole state of Florida is filled with blood, man. What about Texas? What about damn Washington? Dang Louisiana? Right? All of these places filled with blood, man. Let me get this real quick in the book of 2 Timothy. Right? This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verses 3. It says, therefore, endure hardship as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. Right? So the Lord said we got to be a soldier in this thing, man. Right? In a faithful, a good and a faithful soldier, hey, he's going to fight for his king to the very end, to the bitter end. Right? And so it says that no man warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. So you can't be entangled with the affairs in this life, right? Here you are, you're in Jacob's trouble, and you're worrying about your mother and your father, about your mortgage, about your damn insurance bill. Well, we're in Jacob's trouble, you know what I'm saying? A lot about people being put in captivity. I don't know how I'm gonna pay Geico back. That's folly, man. You can't be worried about what the cares of this life, man. You have to worry about the war that we in, man. Right? If we're on a physical battlefield and we're in a war right now, no person is going to be like, you know what? Let me think about something else that's not on the battlefield, man, because they're going to get slain. You have to focus on the things that we're going through, right? Let me get this in the book of Ephesians real quick. Ephesians chapter 6 in verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, man. So we're at war. We're at war 24/7, right? When you wake up, it's time to get to war, man. When you go to sleep, hey, you're at war, man. Hey, you're warring in your dreams, man, because there's a whole bunch of demons that would love to hop on people when they're asleep. There's a whole bunch of demons that like to hop on people when they're mad, when they're angry, when they're sad. Hey, I feel like personally, depression is a demon, man. Right? So there's gonna be demons all around you trying to hop on you 24/7. This is the condition of the war, of the fight, man. Right? Let me get this in the book of Matthew. Right? Matthew chapter 6, right? In verse 24, it reads, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon." Right? So you cannot serve the Most High, and then you can't serve man. You have to choose, man. You have to choose in this thing. You can't ride the fence, right? You can't finesse the Lord, man. You have to choose. Doesn't it say in the scriptures, "Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay"? Right? So it's that simple, man. You're gonna choose to be with the Lord, or you're gonna choose to be part of man, man. Right? Let me jump up real quick. It says in the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and 19, "Lay not for yourself treasures upon earth, wherein moth and rust do it corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do it corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." So you're supposed to put all your treasures in heaven, man. Right? You don't want to put your treasures in the earth, man. You want to put everything you want in this life or in the next life, man, in the heavens, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to aspire to want the Lord, man. And the Lord is the chief and top treasure, man. That's the best treasure you can have, is the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. There's no other treasure that can compare to that, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10 and verse Salah. Yeah, Matthew 10 and 22. It says, "Ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endured to the end shall be saved." So we're going to be hated for man. We're going to be hated for his name's sake, man. People are going to want to kill us, want to destroy us. You're going to throw witchcraft on us, right? They're going to try to stalk us, murder us. Hey, I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, the government's watching right now, like, okay, look at these two brothers. They're doing the work. We're going to try to get them tangled up, man. Right? So we're being watched 24/7, and anything can happen at any point in time, man. Right? Let me get this in the book of Matthew, chapter 10, in verse 34. Right? It says, "Think not that I've come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword." Right? "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." Right? "And the foes shall be they of thine own household." Right? She got to be willing to go through things in this thing, man. Right? David had to go through something, man. David's own son tried to put him to death, man, to take over his kingdom, man. David's son Absalom literally took people out of his own army and tried to put his own father to death, man. That's folly, man. That's messed up as well, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be going through things like this, man. Your father's gonna end up giving you up. You know what I'm saying? People like your grandmother, she's gonna stop calling you baby, stop making you those every dang Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Instead, she's gonna say, "Hey, get away from me with that Hebrew Israelite stuff, you dang devil," not knowing what's really going on, man. Like the Lord said, He came to put a variance between you and your household, man. So you got to be able to endure everything and go through everything and hope for salvation, man. Right? And I'm gonna tell you what words you should hope for, what you should hope for. Right? This is the book of Revelations, man. Because if you don't hope for this, man, kind of going off, I would say. You know what I'm saying? This is Revelations 11 and 12, and it said 11 and 12, and it says, "And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them." Man. That's what you should be hoping for, man. To hear the words of the Lord saying, "Come up hither," and the next thing you know, you're being beamed up in the chariot to be in the glory of the Lord, man. You're able to see your salvation, man. right? That's what you should hope for in this thing. You should hope to make it out of this wicked and perverse kingdom, man, where they pollute justice, man. There's no justice going on in these highways and byways. Nobody keep in your dang kindergarten classroom teaching children about things they shouldn't even know yet, man. You got a whole bunch of madness of wickedness going on in this earth, man. Hey, if you go to YouTube and you type in baby videos, a video of Lil Nas X will show up, man. That'll be the third one to pop up. So you got to be diligent in these days, you know what I'm saying, and able to endure everything and make sure that you keep everything in I want to say obedience unto the Lord, man. Everything you do has to be in obedience to the Lord, man. And I'm gonna get just one more, and I'm gonna pass it back to the brother.
So go ahead and get it. We're gonna have to close out. It's almost time to head camp.
All right, con. Well, in that case, man, I'm gonna do this, man. Come on now. Con. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil, man. Right. So that being said, you know what I'm saying? We kind of ran out of time, but I'm gonna say, hey, the Lord's watching your works and he's gonna bring it into judgment, man. And you either gonna get, everlasting life, immortality, the glory and honor of the Lord, or you're gonna be put to death. And with that, I'm gonna yield and pass it back to the brother.
Lord willing, somebody was edified, man. The brothers are gonna be at camp, 3:00, Discovery Green, come out fellowship, hear the word, come out with questions, contention, whatever you have, man. Come out and see us at Discovery Green, 3 p.m. Right, Lord willing, somebody was edified. With that, I'm gonna say, Kwame Yashala, Shabbat Shalom.